Hi, my name is Tony Youmans, and I'm the director of the Old Exchange in Provost Dungeon, a building that's actually older than the United States of America, completed around 1771. We are standing in the Great Hall of the Exchange, one of my favorite parts of the building, and arguably the most glory, of course, happens here. It's in this room that we elect our delegates to the Continental Congress. It's in this room that the Declaration of Independence is presented publicly to South Carolinians. It's in this room where the United States Constitution is ratified, making South Carolina the 8th state. And then President Washington visits in May of 1791. He stands 6'4", he's 59 years old, he weighs 220 pounds. He is a fourth-generation Virginian, and he is standing in this very space. To work in an environment such as this is such a real, great, overwhelming joy at times. December 3rd, 1773. Things are happening in these British American colonies. Ultimately today we know what happens, but back then there was a lot of uncertainty. We know what happens in Boston after protestations caused the Townshend Acts. We know the Stamp Act in 1765 caused so much consternation. Ultimately it's repealed for the British American colonies. December 3rd, 1773, a public meeting is called. All inhabitants are invited. The plantation elite, if you were that white male landowner, you would be here to talk about this, to investigate, to learn. Townspeople, common people are here. Merchants are here. Representatives from the East India Company here. The very captain of the HMS London is here. The customs collector. So British interests are well represented. So this is a very active discussion. This space was filled to the rims with people. There was even a concern over the weight. The weather actually was pleasant enough to accommodate this public meeting, and here is where we need to discuss, townspeople discuss, this incredibly important thing, the arrival of this tea and the act that took place to get this tea into the British American colonies. This public meeting is held for all inhabitants. 2 days earlier, on December 1st, the HMS London has arrived. This meeting is here to discuss what to do with this shipment. It is large, 257 chests. The casks, the boxes are heavy. The bahia is actually in bricks. And so what to do with this? It's sent from across the ocean, and it arrives here, and the business of this port is to unload and ship. So this particular vessel has quite an issue at stake. They have approximately 21 days to make a decision, and when I say they, we're talking about British officials and customs officials. The business of this port, the business of South Carolina, the business of the British American colonies is to export resources. So the ship needs to be used to return with the rich resources of South Carolina. What to do with this tea? 21 days pass, several meetings take place here on this level and also the exchange floor beneath, and finally it's decided to remove the tea from the ship. The tea that's unloaded from the London is removed carefully, responsibly, professionally, and brought to the cellar of the exchange, which was a very common use to store different items. Ship chandlers every day rented space. The issue, British colonial government versus townspeople versus concerned citizens that were upset over this particular act of Parliament, what to do with this. And also they were taking quite a chance themselves. The customs collector in danger of being an effigy burned at the stake, tarred and feathered, things like this, atrocities on both sides throughout ports in British colonial America. The tea is brought here. It is stored on the north side of the building, 257 boxes of this very valuable commodity, and there it awaits its fate. It takes 3 years, and eventually, of course, this tea is sold. I'd like to thank you for listening to me and help me understand more about what's happening in these 250 years of American history as we come upon the South Carolina 250th and our nation's 250th birthday on July 4th of 2026. The Exchange Building has been here for 251 years, a part of America's history, a part of South Carolina's history, and of course certainly a part of Charleston's. The building is open from 9 to 5 daily. We have docents dressed in period attire, as you can tell. We relate all aspects of the building's very, very unique and special history. But those first 20 years, 1771 to 1791, I believe are unmatched, certainly in South Carolina and arguably in the United States. Please come and enjoy a visit.